Okay everyone, straight into round 2 of the Six Nations. 5 of the 6 teams have announced. That's good enough for me. Let's get into it. Before we get into the picks, for one last time, I just want to share the brilliant exclusive prize league that I've set up on buymeacoffee.com. This is for subscribers to my members only site, FRG Premium, with prizes coming from a variety of the FRG partners, including a top prize for the winner of a £100 voucher at the rugby shop, lifetime premium membership to the excellent Rugby Results iPhone app Gameline, a rugby mystery box from Blindside Box, a voucher to spend at Old Novo, a voucher to use on Rugby Wardrobe, 6 months free access to FRG Premium, and a fantasy Rugby Geek trucker hat, and there'll also be smaller prizes for 2nd and 3rd place. Obviously, by signing up, you also get access to the other member benefits, including being able to see my personal team reveals, not just for the Six Nations, but also for the Prem, URC, Women's Six Nations, Top 14 and others. You'll be able to share your team with me for direct feedback on any changes I recommend. I'll be able to help you with some start-sit quandaries or help you with a bit of fancy team surgery to help get your season back on track. So please sign up. There's a link in my description. Today, I'm wearing a hoodie from one of the partners and for one of the prize givers, Rugby Wardrobe. Super comfortable and fresh. You can check them out at rugbywardrobe.com and make sure you enter the code Fantasy Rugby Geek at checkout for 15% off. Also a quick plug of our Fantasy Rugby Discord. If you'd like to chew the fat about fantasy rugby, then come and join our awesome community over on Discord. The link is in the description of this video and on the screen right now. Okay, now a super quick look on how I got on in round 1 on the official game and also a quick look at the FRG leagues. So all in all, it was a decent enough round 1 for me. A few hits and a few misses, 506 points, so decent enough. Top performers for me, Henry Arundel, 46 points, Tommy Freeman, 50 points, Louis Biel-Biarri, 51 points. Nicolas Deporter was very impressive, 36 points. Mathieu Jalabert absolutely smashed it, 52 points. Captain Antoine Dupont, 60 points after the captain multiplier. Solid enough. Ben Earl, 50 points. Jack Dempsey, 40 points. Tyke Byrne, 39 points. Disappointments, Dan Sheehan, only 13 points for him, which is way below his usual levels. Alex Mann, 13 points. I was expecting a bit of a higher tackle volume from him and Dafford Jenkins in the second row. Tom Jordan, 6 points. Really disappointing. The rain in Rome really hit hard. And probably most frustrating of all was the Henry Pollock 9-point super sub appearance. It could have been so much better. Taking a look at the FRG leagues, kicking off with the Open League available to everyone. El Biggie on top with 614 points, really impressive score. Then we've got Dunpont, EYP, Rondog, Cork Tip, Honor, Baz Sweat and Tears, Ragged Spartans, Johnny Panzani and Bastian and Nimanjeb getting the final spot. Then taking a look at the FRG Prize League and the top 10. In the lead we got Justin Credibles, Justin Vermeulen. In second equal we got Fance and CJ. In fourth, we got 3 Pete. Then we got Scrumamere, Lightning Strikes, Beep Beeps Bussy, Dave Dov, Duncan 1234, and Team Panch. Okay, back to the tips. And in this video, I'm primarily focusing on the official game and players who should score well in that format. But generally speaking, these players should also go pretty well in Super Brew. I'll always run through some value tips at the end of the video as well to make sure that you hit your budget with good value players. First up though, a quick run through the matches. Round 2 gets underway on Saturday with Ireland hosting Italy in Dublin. Italy would go into this as outsiders, but they did push Ireland close last year, losing just 22-17 despite a sensational Dan Sheehan hat-trick. Despite being underdogs, Italy enter the game on a high after an excellent win over Scotland in Rome. And while Ireland enter after a tough loss in Paris, the bookies are still expecting Ireland to win. 18 points is the line. Next up on Saturday is Scotland versus England at Murrayfield. In recent years, Scotland have enjoyed this fixture, largely thanks to the brilliance of Duhan van der Merwe and Hugh Jones, who both seem to save their performances for England, except this week, Duhan van der Merwe is not playing, although Jones is in. That said, England's run of hot form shows no sign of ending, and the bookies are backing England to win by 7 points. Round 2 then concludes on Sunday the 15th with Wales hosting France. This fixture was brutally one-sided in 2025, with France running out 43-0 winners, the largest ever home win for France over Wales. Sadly, for Welsh fans, the signs don't look much better this year. France are massive favourites, with the bookies backing France to win by 31 points. So now a quick run through of my recommended players for round 2. These are the best players in each position in my opinion. Obviously you'll need to balance these out with value picks that I'll cover off later in the video. So kicking off from the top with the props. And first up we've got Ellis Genge of England. He's in top form for club this season. For his first match, he only got 11 points, but I'm expecting him to get more opportunities in round 2. Then we've got Xander Fagerson of Scotland, the marathon man. He made 64 minutes in round 1. Once again, he was the prop who spent more time than any other prop outfield. 13 points for him in round 1, which for a prop is solid, but I'm expecting more in round 2. Then finally, we've got Danilo Fischetti, 16 tackles for him in round 1. 13 metres carried, 2 defenders beaten. He ended up on 19 points. Slightly outshone on points from his teammate Simone Ferrari, who got 33 points, largely due to the Player of the Match award, but I'm still backing Danilo Fischetti to be top of the props this week. Then into the hookers, starting off once again with Dan Sheehan. Now he was very, very disappointing in round 1, just 13 points for Sheehan. But he's at home this week against Italy. He's got a great opportunity to turn that around. A reminder that this time last year against Italy, he got a hat-trick in the match. Definitely don't rule out Sheehan. As an alternative, we've also got Luke Cowan-Dickie of England. Starting this week, he's got an excellent international try-scoring record. Could well be at the back of that English maul for a try. Cowan-Dickie is a really, really solid alternative and a good value differential. Into the second row and kicking off this week with a player who didn't feature in round 1 but is a massive talent and he's out of position. It's Cormac Isachukwu of Ireland, an absolutely top class player for Ulster. He's been outstanding at club level for a very, very long time and he makes a welcome return to the Ireland shirt. He scored 9 tries in 24 club starts for Ulster. He's starting in the back row and he's super cheap. For me, he's an absolute no-brainer. Then we got Mikel Guillard, 42 points for him in round 1. He was the player of the match. He carried hard, he made tackles, beat defenders, offloads, he even got an assist. Absolutely top class option, but you also need to think carefully about your France allocation in round 2 with so many great options. My third option here is Ollie Chesham. Played the full 80 in round 1. He's in great form, 13 tackles for him, 41 metres carried, a line-out steal as well. 30 points for him in round 1. I'm backing Chesham to have another big week. Into the back row now and starting with Ben Earl. Now, I didn't want to make him my captain in round 1 due to the risk over his minutes. In the end, that wasn't anything to worry about. He played the full 80. He got a try. He carried for 69 metres, made 17 tackles, beat 3 defenders. He didn't get a breakdown steal in round 1, but he was one of the top breakdown stealers in the 2025 Six Nations. I'm expecting another top score for him. He's just made for this game. He got 50 points in round 1, and he could well be right up there again in round 2. Number 2, Jack Dempsey, back in the team once again, 40 points in round 1 after an impressive try-scoring performance in the reign of Rome. He's Scotland's key attacking threat in their forwards, and I'm expecting him to put up another big score. Then we got Jack Conan into the Irish starting lineup at number 8. Conan has always delivered off the bench and now he gets a good opportunity to start. He's in great form. You can expect tackles, hard carries, and he may well get on the score sheet. And then wrapping up with his teammate Caelan Doris, who had a tough night in Paris but still racked up 34 points. Mainly an attacking shift for Doris in round 1, 15 tackles. He only carried for 29 metres, but I'm expecting in a home game in Italy for him to make even more of an impact. Honourable mentions go to Oscar Yegu and Anthony Yolonk. They are both class options for France, but the fact is, with France and the fact that you can only select 4 players, I'm looking at other options for the France players. Like at scrum half, where we got Antoine Dupont, 30 points for him in round 1, which was below his usual high standards, but it's still a great score, especially compared to some of the other scrum halves. With Dupont, you know what you're getting. He's capable of magic, tries, assists, meters carried, defenders beaten, offloads, and of course, plenty of those retained kicks. As an alternative, again, I'm looking at Jamie Doby. Out of position, he had a tough time on the wing against Italy, but conditions are set to be much better this weekend at home at Murrayfield. A reminder that he's the top try scorer in the URC this season. If you're willing to go against Dupont, then Doby could still be a strong option. Into the fly halves, and we have to start with Mathieu Jalibert. 52 points for him in round 1. Again, he doesn't kick, but that's nothing to worry about. He got a try, an assist, made 11 tackles, carried for 73 metres, beat 5 defenders, made 4 offloads, and even had a retained kick. Jalibert is absolute class, and he could well run riot at the Principality on Sunday. As an alternative, we've got the top scoring fly half, and in fact the top scoring player in the entire fantasy game from round 1. George Ford, 55 points for him, player of the match for England, 2 assists, 4 conversions, a penalty, 82 metres carried as well and 2 defenders beaten. Absolutely outstanding. He may not get those same kind of figures against Scotland away from home, but you can still expect him to deliver a decent score. Then into the centres, I'm kicking off with Tommaso Menoncello, still one of the most consistent players in the fantasy game. In round 1, despite the terrible weather conditions, he still carried for 103 metres, beat 4 defenders and got a try. He only got 6 tackles, which is pretty low for him, but you should expect a bit more of a defensive shift from him when they face Ireland. Absolute class, has to be in my team. Then we've got Emilien Gailleton of France. He scored 5 tries this season and averaged a try every other game in his career with Pau. A real attacking threat from the outside centre position. I'm expecting a lot of attacking play from France and I'm also expecting him to play the full 80. Finally, we've got Hugh Jones of Scotland, another player who had a disappointing game in round 1. Only 7 points for him. He always delivers against England. He's England's nemesis and I'm expecting him to cause some real damage. Honourable mention goes to Fabien Bro-Bory as well. Absolute class. The French number 12, been outstanding for Pau all season. Tries, assists, defenders beaten, just an absolute class act for the last 2 years. The only reason I've gone for Gailleton over him is the fact that Noah Nene's on the bench. Nene's played 12 all season long and indeed previously in his career at Dax. So I'm expecting Nene to come on for Bro-Bory at some point in the second half. Gailleton is all about the minutes, but if you fancy a cheap gamble, and he is very, very cheap, then Fabien Bro-Bory is worth a look. And then finally into the back 3, and here it's all in on France. France away to Wales. This could be an absolute battering, kicking off obviously with Louis Bielbiarri. 2 tries in round 1, 51 points overall. Nothing really more to say. He's an absolute try machine. Then we got Tommy Freeman of England, just going away from France for a bit. Freeman is back in the centres, but he showed in round 1 that just does not impact his scoring in any way. 50 points for him in round 1, a try, his 7th consecutive try scoring match in a row, 106 metres carried, 8 tackles he made, 10 defenders beaten and an offload. Absolute class. Back to France for my next option, Thomas Ramos. He carried for more metres than any other player in round 1. 116, he beat 6 defenders, he made 3 offloads and got that ridiculous assist with his foot. He also got 4 conversions and a penalty, so all round Ramos just delivers. And then finishing up with yet another French option, Théo Atisogbe. He got a try in round 1, he got 32 points. Again, it could be Atisogbe who's on the end of all of these moves, so he's well worth looking at. So honestly, this week, the hardest thing is just selecting which 4 French players to go for. It's going to be very, very difficult. Quick word on who I'm looking at for captain options this week. My shortlist, unsurprisingly, is all French, kicking off with Louis Bielbiarri. The try-scoring form is just outrageous. This year, he's been simply unstoppable, and I'm expecting him to do even more against Wales. Then we got Thomas Ramos, as I mentioned before, way more than just a goal kicker. Ramos carries, beats defenders, gets assists, offloads. He's just generally in the thick of everything. And then finally, Mathieu Jalibert. What a performance from him in round 1. He is going to be at the heart of everything that France do this weekend. For me, he's an absolute must pick. Okay, over to Supersub and a quick reminder in terms of what I look for in a Supersub. First of all, I need to know, will they come on and will they play a significant period of time? Secondly, how has their team used their bench in previous matches? And thirdly, the split of subs on their bench. So are they playing a 6-2 split? So last week, once again, for the 6th round of the Six Nations in a row, a forward was the highest scoring super sub. So once again, forwards are my main route of options this week. Kicking off with Lenny Nauchi of France. He's been absolutely brilliant in the top 14 this season. Tries everywhere and he made a huge impact when he came off the bench in round 1. Then we got Nick Timoney, who was the highest scoring super sub in round 1 for Ireland. Always good for a try, no matter whether it's club or country. And Timoney could be a great call again this week for super sub. Then we got Henry Pollock, only 9 points for those who super subbed him last week, 3 points before the multiplier. It could have all been very, very different though, had that try been allowed. Unfortunately, the high shot from Tame Plumtree on Pollock as he was dotting down turned it into a penalty try, so those points went away. But that was a 45-point swing, and I think we'd be looking at Pollock very, very differently had that try gone in. So he's still a great shout for super sub this week. And then we got Noah Nene of France. So he is a back, but he should get a decent run off the bench. He's been in outstanding try scoring form for Stade Francais all season long. He should go well when he comes on. Okay, finally, let's take a look at the value picks. So the budget is tight in this game, so you definitely need to supplement your team with some great value picks. So here's a list of players I'm looking to go well for under 11 stars. Kicking off, we've already mentioned him, Fabian Brobori, available for just 6.9 stars. He's been on fire in the top 14. Tries, assists, defenders beaten, line breaks, he does it all. My only concern is over his minutes. Then we got Emilien Gaetan, again on the outside centre for France. Again, another great flair option, fantastic try scoring record. Only 8.8 stars, you can't be valued like that. Then we got Jamie Doby, out of position, had a disappointing round one, but I'm expecting the URC's top try scorer to come good in round two. Tom Jordan, another player who had a disappointing round one. Again, I'm still backing him to do well in better conditions. 10.7 stars, great value. Another Scots option, Gregor Brown, starting in the second row this week, 8.6 stars. Capable as well of staying on for the full 80 and potentially slotting back into the back row as well. Stuart McCloskey of Ireland, available for 10.7 stars. Ireland should get some joy in the backs against Italy. McCloskey could be in the thick of it. Freddie Stewart, we mentioned him last week, 9.5 stars, super cheap option, will always get those meters. Teo Atasogbe, 11 stars, got to be included. He should have plenty of fun against that Welsh team. Tom Roebuck, a late addition into round one and got a try, available for 9.6 stars. Josh McLeod, Wales haven't announced yet, but if he's selected, he's a great option. 7.7 stars, and he will get the tackles in. Anthony Yalonk, again, a super cheap option into the French back row, alongside Oscar Yegu, also available for just 10.3 stars. Robert Balakoon, absolutely rapid, available for 7.9 stars, a cheap route into that Irish back three. Kyle Steyn, 10 stars, great value. Classy player, always delivers for club and country. Cormac Izachukwu, absolutely brilliant option in the second row, available for just 7.9 stars. A real differential pick this week. Simone Ferrare, top scoring prop last week, available for 9.6 stars. And then Nicola Canone, top tackler in round one with 26 tackles in one match. Absolutely huge performance and available for 10.9 stars. So I hope that ramble was useful. As always, you can find my round two picks over at fantasyrugbygeek.com. And a reminder that if you want to see my full team reveal, then head over to my membership site, buymeacoffee.com, where you'll also be able to share your team with me for direct feedback on any changes I'd recommend. Make sure you give me a follow on X, TikTok, Insta, Blue Sky and Threads for any breaking fantasy news. Make sure as well you follow Paul and I's podcast, Fantasy Rugby Geeks on the Go. We're recording tonight. We'll be up on Spotify and YouTube tomorrow. So get your teams in, share your questions in the comments, enjoy the rugby, and good luck.